block from Holloway.
At 17 years old, I was one of those interns working out of his office, riding around in the Luke vans, getting people registered to vote.
So I look as Luke as the father of Miami. But Luke, I just want to say I love you and I appreciate you and I'm grateful for you. I'm happy for you. You're proud. Luke Campbell Way, Liberty City, Dade County, 305. Make some noise for Uncle Luke.
Everybody that's out here, they're out here because we all got something in common. And what we have in common is we help. We help kids like this. Gil Green helps and inspire. DJ Epps helps and inspire. Devontae Freeman helps and inspire. DJ Khaled helps tremendously inspire. My good friend Stan the Man over there helped. E-Class, who was here, helps and inspire. These guys do a lot of things that you all don't even know. I mean, teach, owns a restaurant, helps and inspire. I mean, that is what it's all about.
Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome to another edition of the Uncle Luke Show podcast. I love y'all. Thank you for being here today. Yo, hey, listen, man. Listen, this has been a very, very interesting and very good week. I'm sorry that I did not do a show on Monday. I'm running a campaign, man. I'm in a real tough race. I'm in a tough race with a bunch of career politicians, and I'm out here doing a lot of things. I'm out here doing town hall meetings. I'm out here doing forums. I'm out here knocking on doors. I'm out here in the county, in the BC, baby, Broward County. And that's what we're doing, man. We out here spreading the word, man. But I would like to welcome you all to the show. Everybody on Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever you call it. We're here. We're on Facebook, YouTube, my YouTube channel. I'm just happy to be here, man. It's been a great road, and I'm happy that you all are able to be here to enjoy this moment, because as you know, this world and life is not promised to anybody, and so to be here is a blessing from God, and we need to always be thankful that we're here, and God allows us to be here. And to those who have went and left us and went on to the glory, we know y'all in a better place than being right here. But at the end of the day, I just want to thank you guys for joining us. And I'll start getting the schedule back right. I got an election going on right now. People have ballots. And so what we're doing is chasing ballots right now. Unlike my opponents, we're not chasing ballots by going to seniors' house and telling them that we will bring them a ballot, but we're chasing ballots from the standpoint of calling people up, doing it the traditional, legal way, calling people up, knocking on their doors and say, hey, look, man, I'm Luther Campbell, and I want you to vote for me because these are the things that I'm going to do right here, man. I'm going to do a whole bunch of good stuff for the community, and I would like for you to support my campaign, and that is what we're doing. We're doing it the traditional way, man. We're talking about affordable housing, insurance reform, bringing, at least $250 million of insurance reform so that seniors can be able to help them pay for their insurance. In my district, we're talking about another $1 billion in affordable housing. We're talking about protecting our seniors and protecting our veterans, $250 million, like I say, for subsidies for our seniors and our veterans, another, $5 billion to expand the port, and that's going to create more jobs, and same thing. I got another $100 million for my small businesses. They need assistance, and that way they'll be able to hire more people and take their business to a whole nother level and start new businesses. I got another $150 million for my apprentice trade school tech programs for our kids, because everybody want to know, how do we stop the kids from killing each other? How do we get the kids doing some good things in life? And so what am I doing? Our kids get to do what? $150 million in teaching them a trade so they can learn how to build an electric car. They can learn how to function in They can learn a trade. They can learn how to function in this wide world of tech. You know, so what better use of the money, and you know, what better use to use that money to do that? You know, and create jobs, create a pathway, because everybody's not going to college. So these are some things I'm doing. I mean, expand healthcare. I think they need to take the cap off of it. You know, and those are the things. That's the reason why I'm trying to run for Congress. You know, I keep telling people I ain't running the Congress, go up there and fight Donald Trump, get on CNN, talk trash about him, be Jasmine Crockett or be somebody else. No, I'm going there to work with anybody and everybody to bring the resources back to my district. My job, or the people of my district are suffering. I go in there every day. I'm talking to people, having conversations with people on a daily basis. Those people are literally suffering. You know, people got a great life, but at the end of the day, you know, I'm sitting there talking to people. You know, these people got stories. I go to a senior home, and the seniors are talking about insurance and the increasement of tax. And then on top of the tax, on top of the insurance here in the state of Florida, they got to deal with the same high cost of fuel, and they got to deal with the same high cost of grocery. So add that on. The average American don't have to deal with the same thing a Floridian has to deal with, especially a person in my congressional district. So y'all in Illinois, y'all got to deal with gas, and y'all got to deal with grocery prices and eggs and all that going up. You know, here in Florida, we got to deal with tax. The tax is going up out the roof. We have to deal with insurance because we're in a hurricane state. That's double. And then we have to deal with fuel. And then we have to deal with grocery. So we have 3 more different things that we got to deal with as a Floridian to live here. You know, the cost of living is out of control. I mean, hell, you go to Miami Beach and buy a dinner, it's going to cost you about damn near $500 for 2 people on a little date. Those are the things. That's the big difference between us and in Myrtle Beach or us in Macon, Georgia. You know, so we have extra prices that we have to deal with. So yes, you can, all right, well, just move to Macon, Georgia. Or you can say them and say, elect the right person who's going to, yes, understand that, yes, the cost of living here is a lot different than it is in Macon, Georgia. But at the same time, I can then create higher paying jobs to match it up. My seniors can be sitting here, you know, retired. Before they go get a job at Publix, I can ease some of the burdens of what they have to deal with. They got to pay high-ass costs of prescription drugs. They got to pay for high-ass costs of, Medicare and Medicaid ain't covering everything. So they got to get transportation. They got to go from the home. They got houses and stuff like that. They got to pay high-ass rent. They got to pay high-ass taxes. They got to pay high-ass insurance. So these seniors who retired and who have given so much to this economy in this country, they're faced with foreclosure every day. They're depressed. These are the golden years of their life. They're supposed to be chilling right now out there on the corner, out there at the park, at the golf course, at the shuffleboard court, enjoying the their final days. But they're sitting up here depressed. Meanwhile, people are saying, oh, you need to be an experienced politician. Experience in doing what? Experience in cheating people? Experience in keeping people in poverty? Really? Is that what we're doing? That's what I need to be experienced in. Come on, man. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you all to the show. That's what I'm out here fighting. I'm out here fighting, and that's the first part of the show. I mean, we talk sports, politics, and entertainment, but right, since we're talking politics right now, we'll stay right here. I did a clip, and it went viral on my Instagram and on my Twitter and my Facebook, where I talk about what they call cheating in an election. And I said, I hate that I got to agree with Donald Trump. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of Donald Trump. I think some of the stuff that he says is crazy. But then there are some things that you got to take in consideration and you got to listen. Do I respect the president? Hell yeah, I respect him. He's the president. I tell people elections have consequences. He won the election fair and square. He's the president. So you got to respect that. Whether you like it or not. You sit over here, you want to complain about the conditions that you live in and you didn't vote? Okay, well, you're a part of him being the president. So you got to live with it. Same thing. If people decide that they want to vote for somebody else in this race and don't vote for me, and then they go to complain about the things that they're not getting, the things that I'm telling you that you're not going to get, and the things that I'm telling you how your quality and the way of life is going to be desperately affected, and you decide that you done came up with some mysterious reason. You done talk your way out of not voting for Luke, even though you know Luke is the right one. And the same thing happened in the presidential election, but the man has a point. These elections are rigged. He has a point. They call it ballot harvesting. So here's the definition of ballot harvesting. You know, I did a tweet and I talked about ballot harvesting. And one of these candidates got a guy with some dreadlocks that is on the Ring camera going to the door and every other senior door and saying, hey, senior, because let me back up a little bit. Let me help y'all understand how it works. We have an app, right? All candidates, we have an app. And the app, I'm going to pull it up right here for you. It's called Minivan. See this app? It's called Minivan. I can look on this app, right, that's connected to my campaign, and I can hit an address, Lauderhill. I can pull up that person's information in Lauderhill. I can pull up how many people in the House vote. I can pull up the detailed information, the telephone number and all that. I'm not going to show you this person information right here. I got the house, I got the age, I got the telephone number and everything. And also I have whether or not they have received a mail-in ballot. So I can actually look on this app that you all don't know about because y'all ain't in the political business. I can look on this app and see exactly who has a ballot from the election department, and I can look on this app, and the app will tell me who, because we get updates every day, who has voted and who hasn't voted. So I can go knock right on your door because you haven't voted and be like, hey, look, Bob, you got this ballot over there, Bob. You need me to take it in? I'll take it in for you and drop it off in the mail for you because I know you're facing the high cost of living. I know you ain't got that money to buy gas, senior. We're talking about a senior who's sitting up in there. They got to make a decision whether they're going to pay for the prescription drugs or some food or pay the insurance because the house is already paid off, but then the insurance is almost like a mortgage. They got to put some gas in the car. So it seems like a great idea. It seems like a breath of fresh air that this guy is knocking on the door and he's going to take my ballot to the mail-in box. That is what they're telling these people. When you get the ballot, the package is halfway fucking open. You put the stamp back on, the ends are open. I should go get my ballot in there right now that I have. It's still open, half of it open. So it's so easy to take the thing open, take the little sticky off, go in there, erase what they already got, and then do what? Go in there and put in who you want to put in. But if they put in with an ink pen, then what do? That ballot never reaches the election department. That goes in the garbage. So the ballot harvester is a guy who, with big money campaigns, they can afford to pay those people to knock on those doors. They take the app, ride around the car. Oh, go to this house, go to this house, go to, hello, hi, I'm such and such from the lady campaign that's running for Congress, and I'm here to support you. I can take your ballot and drop it in the box for you. Those seniors believe that. They believe that them people are really going to take the ballot and put it in the box. So a large part of what Donald Trump is saying about the elections are rigged, they are. And normally it's with the people who has a bunch of money. You know, back in the days, a lot of people went to jail for what? A lot of people went to jail for dead people voting. Yes, dead people voting. Look it up. These elections are dirty, they're rigged, and the people who got the most money can pay for that. People like me who are not taking, no, I'm only taking $5. If you choose to send a campaign donation for the campaign, please do it right now. Go to www.luthercampbellforcongress.com. We will be more than happy because we need all the money that we can get. People like me who are not buying the election, who are not taking special interest group, the developers' money, those people like me, no, kind of money to be buying no ballot harvesters. These people want to win by all means necessary because they have a lot of people they got to pay back. When those developers come in, and just like you say, and nobody talked about affordable housing. If you notice it, all of a sudden, everybody talking about, yeah, we got $1 billion for affordable housing. They never talked about that until I mentioned it, until I blew up the numbers and talked about the numbers and put it on my social media and say, my district has $6.7 billion allocated to it. And though that money I've identified, and I'm going to bring it back to my district. So they already know this. Well, the smart ones. So they now got to talk about affordable housing. That's when you get the Alonzo Mourning and all of them to come in there because they allegedly play in the affordable housing game with the major developers. Hello? So all of a sudden they have an interest. They want to endorse Debbie. You see what I'm saying? When you take that money, you got to pay people back. We're talking about $1 billion. Every developer in America, especially in South Florida, is trying to put their money on a candidate who's going to allow them to get a hold of that $1 billion in that district, who's going to be given the property for free. They don't give them government property, hey, $1 for 99 years. Your deal is you're gonna build on it, and you're gonna build it affordable housing, workforce housing for the community and for the people in there. Tell the people in there, hey, look, we're gonna move you over here. We're gonna build these houses. You're gonna be able to move back. That ain't happening. By the time it's time for them to finish building, then you move back. Then they're gonna ask you for everything. Oh, we need 5 months of 5 years of tax returns. We also need 4 years of your W-2 or your W-9. You need to be employed by employer for at least 5 or 6 years in order to qualify to get back into a community that you supported. And all of a sudden, you ride down the street, now you are discouraged and all upset, and you got to go back to the place where they already displaced you and put you at. That's the game that they play. Because Julio Raimundo daughter sitting up in there doing the paperwork. Okay, well, I can't help you. This is what they're asking for. And you sitting there like you all frustrated. You got your kids. You sitting there ready to go back, move back in. That's the game they play. That's the game they play. Lonzo Mourning, he gets to put a school in there. He gets to be the spook in the picture. Yeah. We're here building affordable housing for the community. Yeah. But next thing you know, when you ride by that building, me and Ron May rode down Pompano. Ron May was in shock. This is the heart of Pompano. I see white people coming out their car with groceries and going into the building. This neighborhood, no, they would never. They stole a bag of bullshit. That's what happens. That's why Harlem got gentrified. That's why Eastlake got gentrified. That's why Miami got gentrified. Liberty City, Overtown, you name it, all of them. Sistrunk. That's the game they play. So what happens? They never tell you about the dollars allocated to the district. So then what they do is they sell you a bag of chips that we're going to build the community up and we're going to build affordable housing. We're going to move you over here temporarily and you're going to be able to come back, but you never get to come back. And then they go get some prominent figure, yeah, some blackface, yeah, and he's up there cheesing. Meanwhile, they're paying him up under the table, the developer. And then sometimes they go farther to getting a black person to bid for the job, knowing damn well he's going to bid for the job, but he's going to bid for the job, but he can't pay the bond. So you can win the bid. And so now they then say, promote, oh, Bobby Washington, our friend who goes to our church, he won the bid to build these affordable houses. And Bobby is this. And Bobby walking around there and gave Bobby a new car. Bobby got a new jazz-ass suit on and all that. But Bobby can't pay the bid, the bond, because it takes a bond. But see, that most people don't know. And see, me, I'm a person who always gonna find the money. That's why I was able to find $26 million for Gibson Park when Alonzo Mourning didn't want to let the kids go into his building. I'll tell y'all about that story. I'm gonna come back to that story. And that's why I was able to find $16 million, and then by the time we got to rebuilding Hadley Park, when Keon got in, we got to $16 million when Teal was in, and went through commissioner after commissioner after commissioner, and then we got to Keon Hardeman. By the time I told Keon, hey Keon, they got $16 million to build our gym and all this and all that. Keon said, hey man, ain't no $16 million in that pot, man. It's about more like $4 million. What? $4 million? So Keon Hardeman had to go find another product of my program. He had to go find another $2.5 million to get the shit built. We started off at $16 million. This is how these people steal. This is how they steal, but nobody knew that this money was available for these projects in these areas. It just take a little work, and that's what I do. So I took a little work. I'm running in Congressional District 20. How can I help the people? I ain't running in no race just to be running in the race. I'm running in the race to genuinely help people out. So what do? I do my due diligence to go find my work. I can run for Senate. I can run for governor. I can run for whatever the hell I want to run for. But where can I run and I can really help a community of people? Where can I run? Congresswoman Wilson was still in her seat. She had not said she was going to leave. Ain't told nobody but the people who were in that race over there. So I live in Broward. Where can I run to really help people out? Let me go look to find the money first, because I ain't running to just be sitting up there bullshitting some people. No, I'm running to be able to bring some money back. I understand. Let me go do my due diligence. I'm going to talk to the people in the community. Y'all happy with y'all Congresswoman? No. Y'all happy with any of these congresswomen and men around y'all? No. You see Haitians getting ready to be deported. You see all these things. You see the community. No, we ain't happy. They get the vote and they don't even come back. They get the vote. They come and they talk to us. They get our vote and we don't even see them no more. Our community getting gentrified. Look at Sistrunk. They telling us Sistrunk is getting ready to be connected to Las Olas. Look what they just did to us in Pompano. And in Tamarack, we got a water plant problem. We got all these issues up here in Tamarack. We got these issues in Pompano. We got these issues North Lauderdale. We got a big ass landfill that's been sitting there for 60 years. Nobody knows what the fuck to do with it. Come on, man. And then I go, all right, I'm hearing y'all. We got seniors who upset. They're losing their houses. All right. God says this is where you need to go at. This direction you need to go. So now I got to go find if I can really fix the problem. What can I do to help these people? Because I ain't going to go make no false promises if it is not available. So I go look at what Joe Biden put in place that was already bidded on. I look at the budget. I look at the money allocated for the district. I say, hold on 1 second. This is a beautiful district. They got restaurants, they got bars, they got clubs, they got people who are living in their homes, tax-paying people. They have businesses. They just need somebody to come in and bring those resources. They got the port over here. The port ain't been expanded. Hell, they connected to the ocean, expand the damn port. We could create more jobs, bring more ships in, more cargo. It could be on the level of Miami. Why is Miami Port doubling the amount of people that they service than Port Everglades? We're right here. Port Everglades is in a better position because Port Everglades is technically damn near connected to the airport. If you ever flown out the airport, it's all connected in one. Port of Miami is on one end, the airport is on a whole nother end. You see what I'm saying? So this is a better situation here. So infrastructure, how much money? Okay, I got $5 billion to expand the port. We got a shortfall of homes. We got to build affordable housing. We're 140,000 homes short. In Florida, oh shit, I got another $1 billion. I found $1 billion for affordable housing. Okay, I got another $100 million for small businesses. Okay, my seniors are facing these high costs of insurance because the insurance out the roof. Okay, so I can create a subsidy. So I got out of the money, I can do $250 million in insurance subsidies to help my seniors and give them some benefits to continue helping them. Okay. So my youth, everybody ain't going to college. Okay, I can create an apprentice trade tech program, another $150 million. I'm gonna go in and expand Medicare, Medicaid. I'm gonna fight for that shit there and all that there. Hey, look, we're gonna do that. But I can thousands of good, high-paying jobs and give my seniors a sense of comfortability to live and to finish the rest of their golden years comfortable. I've given my youth an opportunity to get a high-paying job. And then on top of it, I then come in with my experience of what? My experience of entertainment. I know my film company, Luke Films, we have to go to Atlanta and shoot, and every other city to shoot whoever entertainment tax credit. So I got this big-ass landfill out there where I can get the Army Corps of Engineers to drag it and clean it up like they cleaned up toxic waste in Jersey and created a tax credit. And now you see Sony and all these other movie studios that have put movie studios and have brought so much economics and so much money to Jersey right now. After cleaning up the toxic waste area, I could do the same shit in my district. I got 128 acres sitting there that has not been used for damn near 60 years. So I can get the Army Corps of Engineers to clean it up and put movie studios there by giving another $250 million toward that. But on top of it, creating a tax credit of at least 50 to 60% federal tax credit. That's what brings the studios into the state, into the district. But I put a caveat on it. I'm going to create this tax credit. Only way you get this tax credit, big studios, to shoot in our area. How you get these tax credits? One way. You have to do what? You have to employ the people from my district. The more people you employ from my district, the more of a tax credit you get. The less amount of people you employ in my district, the less amount of tax credit you get. See that? That's just increased more high-paying jobs. I didn't even do the survey for the union. I didn't even do the survey because unions automatically does what? Support these candidates who already got a seat. But there's no individual in this race that's union, I'm SAG anyway, that has a plan to create thousands of union jobs. That's my plan. I'm talking about bringing money to the district and creating resources. So when I look at what these people I'm running against, they have no clue. Their job is not to bring money back into the district. Their job is actually bring the district down. You look at this Debbie lady. She ain't doing nothing no different than what Cohen did in Memphis. LeBron James and everybody talk about Memphis. Oh, we don't want to play in Memphis. We don't want to go to Memphis. Matter of fact, I'm going to Memphis next weekend. No, everybody got these, Memphis crime, Memphis this. Trump, we're going to send the tanks into Memphis. We're going to clean up the streets of Memphis. Memphis is a beautiful city with beautiful people. Harold Ford Sr. was a congressman. Let me give y'all a little history lesson. Harold Ford Sr. was a congressman in Memphis. Okay. He held the seat for 32 years. Then Harold Ford Jr. became the congressman. His son. He held the seat in 2006. Okay. Then what happened? Here comes old Cohen, the white guy. What did Cohen do? Cohen ran in a race. Tell me if you haven't heard of this before. Cohen ran in a race. Oh, Steve Cohen. Steve Cohen, Jewish guy. Ran in a race to be the congressman of Memphis against a crowded field of African Americans. Ain't that similar? Debbie Wasserman Schultz running in a race in a crowded field of African Americans, the one white Jewish lady. The vote got split. Steve won the race by getting 30% of the vote in Memphis, black ass Memphis. I'm just saying. Steve won because everybody washed out each other. Steve won by winning 31% of the vote. He came in and paid everybody off. Same shit. Here's the numbers. When Harold Ford Jr., after the daddy, the murder number in 2006 was 160 people. Before that, when Dad was there, it was much lower than that. The homicide rate when Mr. Cohen took office rose to 351 homicides. So they went from 160 homicides to 351 homicides in Memphis under Steve Cohen. I want you to 160 homicides. Yes, that's a lot. But in 2023, 351 with him as the congressman. So I say to the people of Congressional District 20, it's the same fucking play. It's the same play. And I'm pretty sure Steve got celebrities like Lonzo Mourning to endorse him. I'm sure Steve got the Congressional Black Caucus to stand down because the white part of the Democratic Party is the one who controls the Black Caucus, because that's why they raise more money than the Republican Party, because they got to put money into campaigns, their own campaign and the campaign of their handpicked Black congressional members. So they can go take a Black seat anytime they want. So it's in old Steve Cohen. So when people like my good friend LeBron James and everybody else who want to talk all this trash about Memphis, you got to look at where Memphis was at and where it is now. Memphis is a beautiful city with a beautiful town, beautiful people in it. Crime only occurs when there's a lack thereof, when people are fighting for survival, and then they start doing criminal things. If you take a person right now, they're trying to find a way to eat, trying to find a way to feed their family. They're in a state of depression because they have no choice but to then do what? Result in crime. If I take a criminal right now and give a criminal millions of dollars, he ain't finna do no crime because he got millions of dollars in his pocket, and all his other friends and family members is dependent on him because he's bringing in millions of dollars. He's bringing in hundreds of thousands of dollars. He has a great job. He ain't thinking about that because he's thinking about going to work tomorrow. You see how that works? You see how that stops crime? But if I suck the life out of the community and don't bring resources back into the community for people to get good, high-paying jobs, then people do what? People do what? They got to eat. They're hungry. They're starving. They got to find a way. They do criminal shit. So how do you cure that problem? But why do you cure that problem? Because you love the people. Because you're one of the people. They ain't trying to cure that problem. They ain't trying to cure that problem. Part of gentrification is to buy low and sell high. Part of gentrification is allow a community to be crime-ridden. That's all in the plan, right? It's allow the community to have high crime, so when your mother left the house to you, and you got your new wife and your daughter and your son, and y'all got this house that y'all grew up in, lived in there all your life. It wasn't like this when you grew up in the neighborhood. Now the police got chased. People next door, they done rented the house out, and they got people going crazy, and they got high-speed chases, and they robbing the neighbors. And when you come out with the grocery, you got to have your gun, protect yourself and your family. You got to put barbed wires on your fence. You got a cage up in the house like you're in prison. And then the neighbor gets shot because the son was sitting on the porch and the dude was walking by, and they just shot up the whole house, and grandma got shot, and the baby got shot. Then the little Julio Raimundo come knock on your door. Hey, I'll give you cash money for your house. Then you and your wife, who you was giving that home to, y'all sitting there at the kitchen table trying to make an executive decision. Do we stay here or do we take this cash? Because every day we have somebody come knocking on our door, telling me they want to buy this house for cash. Now they bought all the houses in the neighborhood for cash. Then they send code enforcement in. We have taken control of the community. We've purchased 80% of the houses. Now the law enforcement start doing law enforcement shit. Going into those houses, those criminals, and putting those criminals in jail and seizing their property. And all of a sudden, they open up a Starbucks. What they used to say when the black people used to come into the community, they used to say, oh, there go the neighborhood. Black people are moving in, but there go the neighborhood when Starbucks open. Now, all of a sudden, you go to the grocery store and you look at the community that you grew up in, and you got white people walking the dog, and they go into the park and all this shit. You're like, what happened? Well, that's what happened. Then you got these buildings being built by the developers because the money is allocated to that district and that community. And they then took over the building, and ain't nobody in the building that look like you. How did that happen? Not on my watch. So I'm here to tell you, that is why I'm running for Congress. That's why they don't like me. Democratic Party don't like me. They ain't got to like me. The Black Caucus don't like me because I've called them out. And they have said one thing to this lady, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, and they said nothing to Cohen. I tell the people of Memphis, be strong, hold on to your community, because that's what it's designed to do. It's easy to clean up a community. Do you know Miami had some of the most notorious gangs? Go look at the movie. Go look at Cocaine Cowboy documentary by Billy Corbin. Shouts out to Billy Corbin. Go look at Scarface. Miami was out of control. You know who cleaned up Miami? It took a joint operation between the feds and county and city law enforcement. It took a joint operation to clean up the community, and they cleaned it up. Normally, they would give you state time and you get off. They start bringing the feds in. The feds, the way you do that. So Cohen ain't trying to do that. All Cohen got to do, all Cohen has to do. Cohen has a guy that lives in Memphis right now. I'm chief of police for he started the department, the school board police department. His name is Gerald Dollings. He was part of the task force. He was a chief here in Miami who cleaned up the streets when Miami had some of the most notorious gangs in the world. He actually went to Atlanta and trained the Atlanta Police Department on cleaning up their issues. And then he went to Memphis and started the Memphis School Board Police Department because he started the police department, School Board Police Department here in Miami. And he lives in Memphis right now. Has all the information, but they don't want it to be cleaned up. They want it to be crime. They want crime. But them people in Memphis ain't going for it because they've been doing it for the longest. They're not going to bring the federal resources in there. It's the money is allocated to Memphis because it is a blighted community. Some of the parts of Memphis, a lot of parts of Memphis is beautiful now. Drop dead gorgeous, 5-star, everything. So don't believe what you saw in the video and all that. But they don't want to bring the resources in there. And that's what happens when you get bad representation. So Debbie Wasserman Schultz is doing the same thing that Steve Cohen did in Memphis. She's trying to do in Congressional District 20, but it's up to the people. Y'all go for that shit. You're going to get the same thing. They're going to finish the gentrification program. That money going towards affordable housing ain't going to be for the people of Broward County. They ain't going to give the seniors insurance relief because they want the seniors to die off and move and go somewhere else. They want the people to move and go somewhere else, and they want to take over their houses. They're not going to expand the port to create no high-paying jobs because that's too much. Like, you ain't going to leave now because you're making a lot of money and you got to go to your job, your good job at the port. They are not going to give money to a small business because you ain't going to go nowhere. Hell, Kodak Black just bought a whole strip mall in Pompano, and he can't even get it open because his strip mall is not a part of their plan moving forward. He want to build bowling alleys. He got all kind of stuff, increase jobs, small businesses for Black people in his strip mall. He purchased a strip mall here in America, and he can't even open it because he's not a part of the plan. The whole plan, they have plans already set up saying, okay, this is going to be white and right. And the Black people, we're going to move their ass up out of here. So they're not going to give money to small businesses like me. They're not going to teach these kids a trade. They want these kids to continue leaving high school, not going to college, and finding their way to go to jail. Because the prisons are privatized like the schools. Hello? I'm fighting the oppressor. I'm the oppressor fighter in this election. Can't tell them no more than that. I'm going to knock on some more doors, do some more ads, send some more flyers out. I'm going to do my part. I'm going to do my part, people. I'm going to do my part. They're going to continue doing their part. If I tell you they're trying to steal the election, they're trying to steal the election. If I tell you it's rigged, it's rigged. But still, even with all that said, I'm putting you up on game. Somebody come knock on your door talking about they want your ballot. No. Don't let nobody fill out grandma's ballot. Call if you put your mama in a senior citizen home, ask your mama what she did with her ballot. You go get the ballot for mama. Because this is real. This is real. This is a life and death situation for a lot of people. People get all upset. Trump, you ain't vote Trump because Trump been saying for the longest the elections are rigged. The elections are rigged. He know they're rigged. I'm not joining the Trump bandwagon. I'm just keeping it a buck. That's what's going on in my race. That's what's been going on. That is how people win elections. People who got a lot of money and they win elections like that. Let me just talk about this Trump thing. Let me break this Trump thing down for y'all. So here's the deal. The Democratic Party is full of elitists. They handpick their congressmen and senators. The white part of the Democratic Party raised a bunch of money. They then put the money on the candidates that they want to be a part of their little cult. That money comes from the white side of the Democratic Party. Now, I'm not making this a racial issue. It just is what it is. It's not racist. It's how they control the party. They say they want more people to vote. They don't want more people to vote. They have the number of super voters, like I told y'all. They know the numbers of super voters. They know the numbers of who's going to vote in a presidential election, who's going to vote in a primary. They have those numbers. They do the data. They know who got a voter's registration card. And I tell people right now, if you got a voter's registration card, you need to use that in this election. They're not counting on you. They're counting on the super voters to determine who wins this race and any other race. They're counting on the race being separated based on the numbers of people who normally vote in a primary. So Debbie is looking to get her 31%, no different than Steve Cohen looked to get his 31% in a black community called Memphis, to then hijack the community and let it get crime ridden and then obviously sell it all to the developers. But you can make the change. We can do something that they didn't do in Memphis. Vote for the right person. Don't get caught up with, oh, I got to vote for Dale. Oh, I got to vote for this one. I got to vote for that one. No, vote for the right person who's going to do the work. That's me, who found the money already. You got to do that. Because other than that, they're going to hijack the entire thing. So what's the correlation with? Luke, you say Trump. Republicans. You've been bashing the Democratic Party because of the Black Caucus not standing down on Debbie. And the hell, they even supported a young guy. They all talk about experience, but they supported my good friend's son, Kendrick Meek, in Congressional District 24. Now, he never held a seat. Where's his experience? You had 24 members of the Congressional Black Caucus that did what? Endorsed him. And by endorsing them, they put money into his campaign to run against a senator and a former mayor and a former councilman and mayor and councilman. Don't that make sense? They even endorse, man, I ain't even say. So they are who they are. I learned a lot about who they are. But let's get back on this Trump thing. Trump understands that the Democratic Party picks and chooses its elitists to go to Washington. He understands that the white part of the Democratic Party controls the black part, and they put the money into the black candidates' campaign, and they get those people elected because they end up having more money than the best candidate in a black race, right? So they know that. So that's why they have to raise more money within their party, because they got to take care of two different people. They know that. So what does MAGA do and Trump do? He goes and do what? Partner up with former players like Lawrence Taylor, Mike Tyson, all these different people, 50 Cent, and all these people, you name it, Kim Kardashian, Nicki Minaj, and all these different people like that. These are not elitist people. The elitists, the bougie, the suave black people, oh my God, I would never hang out with a Mike Tyson. He's not one of us. So Trump saying, I can get 10 to 20% of African-American vote by hanging out with the real niggas, the real black people. And then I get up there and say, hey, man, y'all black people ain't got nothing else to do. But shit, they ain't gonna do nothing for y'all. Y'all might well come on. And then the ones, the Kodak Blacks, the Little Waynes. Think about it. This man got a real plan. These people, the Democratic Party would never even touch. Hell, Obama didn't even touch Jeezy. Jeezy, man, he was a black president. We need a black president. The man didn't even acknowledge Jeezy because Jeezy was too street for him. The Democratic Party don't want nobody too street. They want elitists. That's why Kamala Harris lost. Could not connect to the streets. The Democratic Party could not connect to the streets. The white part of the Democratic Party who controls the black part of the Democratic Party, they understand that. So when nobody talks about we need more people to vote because we need to win the election. Hell, the Electoral College controls that. Ain't no popular vote wins the election. They don't want new voters to come into the election because they can't control them. If I have a group of people that I can control and I can get people in office, when I want to get them in office, I can look at the data and say, this is the super voter that I can get connected to. I know what they like. I know what they want. I can harvest their ballots. They don't want no new people. They're not singing like the Drake song, no new friends. So Trump and them boys say, you know what? We're going to get the people, the black people who've been left behind. We're going to partner up with the people that they would never partner up with. That's why they don't support Luther Campbell. Because I'm not no elitist. I'm not one of the elites. I'm one of the handpicks. I'm a capital N. I'm not the one to be controlled. So they sitting up there, they can't get me like they got Ice Cube because I did too much in my community. I stand on principle. I went to the Supreme Court. The leaders run their mouth, oh, loot this, loot that. No, they don't mess with people like us. But that's why Trump extended himself. Hey, Kodak Black, come on over here. I'll get you a pardon. Hey, Lil Wayne, I'll get you a pardon. Hey, Nicki Minaj, I'll get you some citizenship. Hey, Mike Tyson, you my homeboy. And then the ones, 50 Cent, I fuck with you. Then the ones that. So, well, hey, old Trumpy, I can't come out there and really just go out there and be talking about I support you like that and go sit up there with you like that. Okay, man, I'll get my crypto people to hire you. As long as you just don't come out against me. But my crypto people hire you, you're going to get a little bit of backlash. Hello? So the mega party have identified the fact that the real people, there's a large amount of African Americans who African Americans love and respect and gravitate to, Kanye West and all. They sit there and say, oh, I see what's going on. We're gonna get the brothers and sisters in the African American community who relate more to the people of the African American community. They relate more to the people of the African American community because it is only so many bougie and elitists in the African American community because those bougie and elite people can't relate to those people in the community. That's the game being played. Games people play night or day. And that's where we're at in this party. That's where we're at. So what's the solution? The solution is the people of this district vote me in. I will be definitely the odd bod. I'll be the guy that'll go in and work with Republicans and Democrats because I will be the guy that I will not be on their agenda. I will be on the people's agenda. I will be there to fight to bring resources to my community. I will be there to go sit up there with Donald Trump and have a conversation with him about rigged elections and what people need to do to fix these rigged up ass elections. And at the same time, talk about how much money that we're going to bring into Congressional District 20. I'll be having a conversation with him and Marco Rubio and what Haitians we need to get and give citizenship to and not deport these people because you're going to crash the economy and the field out there and the everything in Belle Glade and Polk and the service industry. Let's have a common sense approach to this. That man ain't gonna talk to neither one. He ain't talking to no Debbie. He ain't talking to no Sheila. He's gonna do everything in his power to prevent them career politicians from getting anything because they've sat on the TV and talked all kinds of shit to this man, and he don't like them. They're too soft. The other boy, too young. So your vote for those people are a wasted vote. That's what we doing. That's what we at. I'm the difference. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one who put my body on the line for the people. Just like I did when I went to the Supreme Court fighting for free speech for hip-hop industry so that these hip-hop artists could say what they're saying on records right now today. If I lose any one of those two cases, parody would have been done. The most Saturday Night Live comedians would not be able to say or imitate anybody that they're saying. What you have in intellectual property laws on the internet because of me, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be able to do and say the things that you're doing and saying on the internet right now. So my parody case was bigger than that. You're talking about the fighter. That's why it's hard for them to create this narrative, nasty narrative about me. I'm swinging and hitting. So I'm going to be all right. My job is to say I can help this community, and my job is to say I tried. Now you give me the job, I'm gonna work my ass off and do just what I did with every other organizations that I went. I went to Miami Edison. They had no football field, no locker room. I redid that. $3.5 million invested. They said we needed another park over there at Gibson Park because Alonzo Mourning would not let the kids play in his OYC gymnasium. He would not let the kids of the Overtown community, and Ben Hanks and Emmanuel Washington and Rudolph and Chung called me up and say, man, this man won't let us in the gymnasium. That is why people ask them, why Luke messing with Alonzo Mourning? Because Alonzo Mourning decided he wanted to get in this race and endorse Debbie Wasserman Schultz. That is why I'm going after. Look, me and him had this argument. Go look up my article. I did an article in the Miami New Times many, many years ago when those guys called me up, when Emmanuel Washington and Ben Hanks called me up and said, this man ain't letting the kids of Overtown go in his brand new gymnasium. What can we do? I went to Joe Ariola, who was the commissioner, not the commissioner, but the city manager at the time. And I say, Joe Ariola, this man ain't letting the people in there. Y'all co-sponsored and build half of that building. He said, we don't have no control over the building. He said, Luke, what I got is $26 million. He said, I identified the money. He said, yes, we got $26 million. We could rebuild Gibson Park, the pool, and we could build a damn gymnasium. If you ride right now to Gibson Park, you will see the OYC building, and you'll see another gymnasium, and you'll see a Gibson Park gymnasium on the same location. Make that make sense. You're supposed to be the big time fucking basketball player that cares about the community, uses the community name, but you would not allow them black kids in that neighborhood to go in that building because you brought kids in that look black from those elite areas in Miami to say, oh, my child plays basketball at the Overtown Youth Center in Overtown. My child is a part of the Overtown Youth Center. And he's a part of the black culture. Even though my son is black, but he goes to one of these, I ain't gonna call one of these elitist schools that most blacks can't get in because their parents don't have enough money, but they go to Overtown and play at the Alonzo Mourning Overtown Optimist Youth Center, OYC Youth Center. So we feel a part of the community, all of it. We're not racist, and we're not so bougie that we're not sending our kids over there. Meanwhile, we ain't let the kids from the hood up in here mix up with the kids. The bougie kids, oh no, oh no, y'all can't come in here. So what happens? Ben Hanks them tell me, oh hell no. So we had to build another gymnasium. So grandma, auntie, y'all want to ask me why am I fucking with Alonzo Mourning? Alonzo Mourning inserted himself into my congressional race. I'm a part of the culture. I'm a part of the person. If anybody that Alonzo Mourning should be endorsing is me. You want to insert yourself, bruh, into this race? You want to be a coon? And yes, I call him a coon. You want to be a coon and be a part of what Steve Cohen did in Memphis? And what Debbie Wasserman Schultz is trying to do here is in Memphis, there had not been for 30 years, an African American controlled that seat, over 30 years, until he came in there and look at what the fuck he did. For 30 years, there have been African American that fought to keep this seat. in a predominantly black neighborhood, and you are co-signing the white woman to erase an African-American seat? You're here trying to deprive African-Americans from representation. So that is people who want to ask the question, why is Luke fucking with Alonzo Mourning? That is why. Because he's inserted himself into this race as a coon to help this lady erase black representation. So hopefully y'all hear this. You hear it if you want to hear it. And that's where I'm at. Those kind of people, those elite brothers in sports and entertainment who sell them souls, y'all seen it more than y'all ever seen it before. Y'all seen it more than y'all ever seen it before. But what you can do something about it. You can see these Negroes coming and you can put them in a bag. You over here with them and we over here. But you continue falling for the trap that they keep setting, then they're going to continue playing the game the same way. This lady playing the same game that Steve Cohen played in Memphis on a bunch of black candidates running for a seat, and half of the time they put these candidates in the seat to dilute the race. Half of the time they give the candidates the money. They have people literally putting money into those candidates' pockets to stay in the race so they can separate the vote. Some of these people ain't got no business in this race. If I looked in the room and saw somebody that I know was capable of doing the job, I'd have got out of this race. I would have never even got in this damn race. I'd have mind my business and continue running all my damn businesses and continue dealing with all the things. But I saw the community desperately needs leadership because the candidates that are in the race are not the right people to save this community. So if people decide they don't want to vote for me, and I've learned a lot, I'm going to be all right. I ain't selling my soul. I'm going to be all right. My business is going to be okay. My companies are going to be okay. I'll be on tour. I'll be making more movies and documentaries. I have 5 of them right now. Get ready to go into production. I'm ready to lose money doing this. You know, we'll be all right. I'll be straight. But are you going to be straight? That's the question. Are you straight? Where do we go from here as far as African Americans? The real brothers are going to find it because Mega ain't going to stop with Donald Trump. They're going to still continue trying to recruit the 50 Cents, the Kodak Blacks, the Nicki Minaj, the Lawrence Tellers, the Bo Jacksons, the Kardashians. They're going to still recruit the people that the elitists of the Democratic Party don't want to mess with. And eventually, they're going to start doing things in those people communities with them. And the elite blacks are going to be sitting here believing in this Democratic Party dream. They're not going to change their ways because they right now have an opportunity to change their ways. I am giving them the opportunity to change their ways. I've spoken to people over there and have sat on the phone for 4 and 5 hours with these people to tell these people, look, man, my resume is what it is. I went out there on the road with Kamala Harris. I even expected Kamala Harris to jump into this damn thing. Luther supported me. He went door to door for me. He went and campaigned and stood up there on the fence for me when I was running for president, and I can't do nothing but help him out. Kamala Harris ain't did shit. I expected Jasmine Crockett, her jazzy ass, to hop in this race and start talking all kind of shit about these people in the race. I expected Jasmine Crockett to get in the race and say, Sheila, you need to sit down, and Debbie, you dead ass wrong. We ain't heard that. We heard these manufactured cute ass comments. We ain't heard that. You ain't heard nothing from Hakeem Jeffrey. You ain't heard nothing from the Congressional Democratic Party leader, because they are the protectors of the elites. They're willing to give up African American seat. We will only have one Black congressional member in the state of Florida representing Black people. That is sickening. You talk about the 1965 Civil Rights Act. It was designed for us to get Black representation, and both sides are eliminating it. You see what I'm talking about? So where do we go? Those people are recruiting. MEGA is consistently recruiting the average African American, the ones who Black people can really relate to, because that elite shit, them bougie people, they look down on us. I'm not one of them. They look down on us. That's where we at as an African American community right now. It's the bougie ones versus the real people. I represent the silent majority. I represent the hood. I'm purple. I don't care nothing about no party. I don't care nothing about no party. I'm running as a Democrat. I'm gonna tell you this right now. If Ron DeSantis did not change, and I didn't have time to challenge it because I'd have filed a lawsuit. If he did not change this year, well, you had to run. You had to be, in order to run in a party, you had to be in a party for 365 days, which is a whole year. If he did not change that rule, I'd have quickly got out of the Democratic Party and ran as an independent. I did that in a heartbeat. I looked at that before I hit the qualifying button. And they said you couldn't do it because I know the direction of the Democratic Party. I'm the one who said before Debbie even made her announcement of what she was going to do, because I know how this party operates. And then to see that these Congressional Black Caucus members ain't said nothing, but they want to be hypocrites and talk about the Republicans and how they took away Black representation in Memphis. Not in Memphis, but yeah, in Memphis and Louisiana and Alabama and Tennessee. But they got so much to say about those people in Tennessee, Alabama, and Louisiana. Call them everything but the child of God. Rightfully so, because they deserve it. But they ain't call themselves that. When they did that with Gerald Ford's seat in Memphis, they ain't said nothing about that when they're trying to do that right now. But the people of Broward County, y'all can do something different. I'm just saying. So I gave y'all a whole lot. I gave y'all some things to think about. All my good friends, my old friends, they be sitting there saying, Luke, man, you need to chill, man. Them people gonna come out to you, man. They gonna come get you, man. Hey, man, the old granddads and all that, they be like, man, you that motherfucker keep it 100. I keep it 1,000. I keep it $1. I will go sit right now and have a conversation with Donald Trump if we talk about bringing some money to Congressional District 20. Trust me, right now. My job is to serve the people. I will go have a conversation with Marco Rubio right now because I got people who scared to leave their house, and I know Marco. I know Marco very well. I'm the only person in this race to go have a conversation with him about TPS. Hey, look, Marco. Hey. I know y'all get ready to start deporting people. Man, we need to have a real serious conversation. Hey, Marco, Trump, come on, man. Let's talk about this, man. Nobody in this race could do that. These people going to be living in fear. You vote for these people, any one of these people. Take your vote. I ain't going to vote for Luke. Take your vote and go vote for one of them if you want to, and let either one of them. Debbie ain't going to get nothing done. They ain't going to hear nothing. They're going to deport everybody. Sheila ain't gonna get nothing done. They're gonna deport everybody. She talking about people ain't got deported while she was a congresswoman held to the law. My friend's husband got deported, and she worked on my campaign, volunteer. She been my friend before her husband got deported 2 weeks ago. Elijah damn sure, I like Elijah, like Scott. He damn sure ain't finna have no conversation with him. Dale soft ass, he ain't going up there. He ain't going nowhere near the people. They gonna do him like they did with COVID. I remember he was the mayor when Ron DeSantis was with the COVID. He was sitting there, Ron DeSantis talking. He ain't said nothing yet. I'm like, well, come on, black man, say something. This man here talking about taking all the stuff and doing this bad stuff to the black community. Man, you need to say something. Man, Dale ain't said shit yet. That's my memory of him. Standing there in COVID and letting Ron DeSantis take all the good stuff over there. They got all the good drugs and everything and taking over there to the island. And these people flying in, they getting shot before the people getting shot. Fuck out of here. I'm just saying, ladies and gentlemen, that's my show. So, do I like going after African American men when they get into a fight and they support people who are not supporting us? Yes, I'm gonna hit them. I'm gonna hit them hard. Am I going to win this race? Yes, we are. We're gonna win this race because you're gonna go out there and vote, and you're gonna go call your people who live in my congressional district, which is Broward County. You're going to say, go vote for Uncle Luke because you're voting for the future of all of us. You're going to say that. You're going to say, hey, look, man, I'm going to send some money to this brother campaign right now. Speaking of sending money, man, I did a list. Let me tell you before I get off it, I did a list. I said, I don't want to buy a seat. I want to do like other people, buy the seat. Take my own money, buy a seat. To me, that's back hustling. And to me, that creates a mindset of now I got to figure out a way to get my money back. I got to figure out a way to steal money to get my money. If I put $1 million of my own money into the campaign, then now I got to figure out how I'm going to get the $1 million back. Mind you, the job only pays $170,000 a year. Yeah, a lot of people go in as bartenders and leave out $50 million in the bank because there are a lot of them doing insider trading. So I want to go in and do kosher things and just do the right thing for the people and bring the money back to the people. So I don't want to buy an election with the intentions of going in to making money to get my money back. I don't want to take no special interest group money because if I take special interest group money from the developers, and I know most African Americans don't understand how important it is to put into a campaign. And so that makes us really vulnerable to these white Democrats that they can come and buy our candidates. So they need the money to buy all the big posters. You see all the one with all the posters he's bought. You see the ones with the posters, the signs, and the advertisement and shit all over the TV he's bought. Yeah, people put money in a special interest group. So now he has to pay those people back who putting that money in. They ain't giving them the money because they love him and they like him. No, there's a business. It's a business decision. It's a business investment into that person with the expectations of getting a return. And that's how it works. So I take no money from nobody. I live off my name recognition. I'm in this race off of what I've done in my community and what I know I've done and what I can do. And so I live off of every coach who I've coached against in Broward County, Dade County, to get on the phone and tell their parents, you need to vote for Uncle Luke. I live off the reputation that I have of building and creating ventures and building partnerships with Adidas and $50 million to the District of Miami-Dade County. I live off my reputation of building parks. I live off my reputation of pouring and building kids up and saving kids and coaching and mentoring them and seeing them off to college and to the NFL and all those days on the riding in vans and all that and pouring into these young people. And I live off of that. I live off the reputation of creating hip hop in the South, taking Pitbull off the street and taking Trick Daddy, who just came out of prison, and help mentoring them, putting them on records. And now they're multimillionaires doing big things in H-Town and JT Money and Poison Clan and all these people. And then the guys who work behind the scene who are owning big companies like Teach with House of Mac, and Nikki and her brother doing festivals and all these things like that, and Jeff Sanchez working for the NBA Entertainment. My good friend Wendell Haskin has Original T. I look at all those things that I've created and more. And so when I look at my resume and they say, oh, we got streets named after you, we got stadiums named after you, you can go and rest and you can go and chill for the rest of your life because you have a legacy. I have a legacy and I have a name. I built that. And those are the things that I want to build in my congressional district. And I will bring those things. A dude told me today, man, you just need to do an aerial shot. Streeter from football bill, you don't do an aerial shot of all the shit you built. Edison, $3.5 million in there. Go over to Gibson, go over to Hadley, go through all the shit that you built in the community and just show the people and say, Pompano, this is what I'm going to do here for you. Lordy, this is what I'm going to do here for you. Tamarack. It's hard to do that because I've done so much. I expect the people to do that research. I'm not going to buy an election. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to expect people to do the research and say, look, man, I'm going to vote for this dude right here because this dude is real. This dude going to get shit done. Because everywhere he's been, he's gotten shit done. And he does it on a 5-star level. And so we would be honored to have this guy work over here for us for the next 4 or 6 years. And if you don't, he gets somebody else, that's fine. I'll be all right. Be chilling. Hey, at least I will be able to say to myself, I tried. Because I can't sleep at night when there are things that I know I can help fix. And I'm not one of those people who sit on the couch and not try to help. Anything that I've ever got into, I try to help kids. I did that for over 35 years. I didn't have to do that. I could do just like every other rapper, be on a yacht, hanging out on the boat and swimming in the French Riviera. No, that's not me. I'm a helper. My mom taught me that. You do the same thing. So that's why all these things I built, and that's why they put my name on all these things. So I'm helping. I mean, hell, I saw a little rapper Pitbull rapping on the battle tape. Let me get him over here. I help. So the guy called me up and said, man, my son coming out of prison, man. I help. Come stay with me, Trick Daddy. Trick Daddy stayed with me. You think I knew he was going to be Pitbull? You think I knew he was going to be Trick Daddy? No, I was helping young men fulfill the dream that they had and helping them get a career. Same thing with JT Money. So I love their careers. I love Devontae Freeman's career. I love Amari Cooper's career. I love Artie Burns' career. I love Levante Davis' career, who came through our program. I love Duke Johnson's career. I love Carlton Davis' career. I love Emmett Wright's career. I love Bashan's career. I love Wayne Times, him and his brother, police officer. I love all my kids. I love Charles Gaines Jr., who's out there coaching right now. I love all my kids' career. I love the things that Telly Lockett is doing. I love the things that Chris Perkins is doing at FAU as a coach. I love all these people and the things that they're doing. I love just being around them and them inspiring me and helping me, and I'm helping them. So I'm okay. But I want to continue helping more people in a major way. I'm just sad that I won't be able to help get some kids in college, coaching ball. But I'm going to get a lot of kids in college. I'm going to help a lot of families. That's my show, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you all for being here. I'm going to go knock on some doors. we're gonna have some creative events when it's if you got a ballot right now, take that ballot and vote for yours truly, Uncle Luke. I was going to talk about some other things on it, but I had to deal with the issue at hand. I know I'm going viral in a couple of different situations. Hopefully I address those things right here. Shouts out to my girl Glow. I love you as usual, as always, and everybody who's in the chat. I love you guys. We do rebroadcast this show after it's played at 5 o'clock. We rebroadcast it. So just so you know, the rebroadcasts are 10:30 at night and 1:30 in the morning. And it rebroadcasts again at like 6:30 in the morning and then 12 noon the next day. So we try and do that because we know people work and we know people can't look at the show. But remember, you can always go to the archives in my YouTube channel, Uncle Luke TV. You can always go to Facebook, my Facebook fan page, and like, share, and subscribe the show. Go to X. Make sure you sign up on X and go to my TikTok page. It's 305 Uncle Luke, and then go over there to my Instagram, which is Uncle Luke Real One, same as it is on X, Uncle Luke Real One. I want to thank you guys for joining us today. I will be back Friday, God willing, to be back on here to do another show. I'm having fun. If y'all see me in the streets, man, holler at me. I like to talk to y'all, man. My office is on Sistrunk and 9th. So just stop by, holler at us. If you want to volunteer, if you want to make a campaign donation, go to my website, www.luthercampbellforcongress.com. Remember, this show is sponsored by the one and only Luke Records, where you can go to Luke Records, download all your music, get your paraphernalia, get your Luke gear. Hey, look, you can also get this gear right here on the campaign website. But once again, I love you guys. I know I closed the show out like 3 times already. In the words of Walter Cronkite, the great Walter Cronkite, may the good news be. Should I end it right here? No, I ain't gonna end it. Can I get an encore? I'm not gonna end it because I wanted to say one more thing. I started saying it, but then I went off into something else. And this is going to be the last point. I got in this campaign. I looked at all the different things. And I got in this campaign. And I looked through my Rolodex because they say that's the most important thing to do is look through your Rolodex. After you say, what don't you want people to know about you because they'll find out about you in a campaign. And I did that. And then I looked at my Rolodex and I looked down the list of people that are in my Rolodex, my friends, people who I've helped out tremendously over the years. A lot of them I helped become multimillionaires, whether they were in the entertainment business, the sports business, lawyers, or whatever it may be. And I looked at these people, right? And I put a dollar figure by their name, with the understanding as to how much I think they possibly could donate. So telling me how much money the possibility of me fundraising. You know, it's hard as hell. I hate calling somebody asking for money. Knowing that it's not calling somebody asking for money for me. It's me calling them, asking them money for the campaign. Because in campaigns, the money don't go to me. The money goes toward paying the bills of the campaign, the kids who work, the seniors who work, the posters, the billboards, the paraphernalia, all this stuff right here, all that stuff, the advertisement, the signs and everything. Everybody's like, yo, we need a sign over here. The yard signs, all that stuff, the t-shirts and everything, all that stuff has to be purchased, right? And employees got to get paid. You know, people doing field work, people who are doing the data, getting all the information, they got to get paid. And so the money goes toward that to win a race. So ultimately the money, you win the race and you're able to serve the people. And that's what we don't fail to understand as African Americans. And that's why it's so important to put money into your candidate's campaign. Because if you don't, they will. And if they do, they will gentrify and they will take away from the community. And so that's why we've lost our communities so many ways. So again, going back to me, I looked into my Rolodex and I looked to see how many friends and how much my friends can donate. I looked and say, I knew, hey, look, you doing good. You flying around in jets and private planes, and you doing good. You flying around in jets and private planes, and you doing good. And you got hit records, and you making $100 million in the NFL, and have made it in the league, and you doing good, and you doing good, and you doing good. You big time lawyer at a big time law firm. I've helped you. You're a big time broker at a brokerage firm. You, all these people, I looked at a list of all these people in my Rolodex. And I came up with a bunch of these people. And I said, man, I can raise probably $1 million on the low end with all my friends and my Rolodex and my phone. You find out a lot when you run it. An election. You find out the people who you least expect to support you is the ones who support you. You find out the people who you picked up in cars and literally left your family to help them get a better opportunity and create a better life for themselves, and if you've helped them make millions of dollars, can't be found. Send them a text, they don't respond. But they're always calling you for help. They call you when they were young. They call you when they got old because they want that Luke information. The people who, you like, man, I know you're going to have your artists call up, man, and send them drop. No drop. Man, you can make a campaign donation. No campaign donation. And a lot of them people be like, yo, man, they see me doing something big with the kids and all that, man, let me know, man. Come and be a part of helping out, man. Man, put me in, man. I want to do some of these things, man, with you, the things that you be doing. And then you call them up. Hey, man, can you make a campaign donation? No dice. All right. Edgerrin James, Warren Sapp, the only athletes, I think, that has made a donation of all the athletes that I've touched. One of the biggest donors in this campaign is Rick Ross and his sister. When it comes to entertainment, all the entertainers' lives that I've touched, all the people in the industry, if I don't go to the Supreme Court and win, if I don't get this case overturned, or nasty as they want to be, all these entertainers will not be able to say what they're saying on the record. And they're reaping the benefits of me making that sacrifice, like I'm making another sacrifice, can't be found. You would think they would be pouring all the money they can pour into this campaign. Can't be found. Hey, I'll call you back. I want y'all to know that, because it's a lesson in that. It's a lesson in that. You don't know who your real friends are. You'll find out who your real friends are when you go into an endeavor similar to this, and then you find out when this election is over, win, lose, or draw. I'm going to take this phone. I'm going to take that list of people who made campaign donations in my campaign, because I help a lot of people. All I do is help people, mentor people. I'm going to take this phone. I'm going to take this phone, and it's going to be completely shut down forever with this number. I'm gonna get a new number. I'm gonna look at that list of people who made campaign donations, and those are the people who I'm gonna send my number to, and I'm gonna tell them people, do not under no circumstances give my number to anybody, because it's really eye-opening. Mike Gardner right there, Big Teach right there, Standing Man right there, my brother Wes right there. You see what I'm saying? I want y'all to know that. I want y'all to know that. I literally looked at my list of people that I've supported, that I know be ready to jump on them. You talking about them and some family members too. Hey, that shit crazy. But that's the nature of the beast. I want to share that with you all, because I know a lot of people will be inspired to run in a race. Don't depend on the friend. The support will come from the likely people whose lives you touch, the people who you did not do as much work into their lives, who really appreciate the things that you've done to help them along the way be able to do the things that they're doing. Those are the ones who will support you. But the ones who you really picked up and put in a car and you showed them the way, and nowhere to be found. And don't be surprised, because Luther Campbell is telling you right now. So we're going to win this by the grace of God. We ain't buying it. We're going to get our $5 campaign contributions. We do understand, hey, look, it's like, we ain't, I called you one time. I ain't finna keep calling you. I know them, the fundraiser people I had, they hate me. So they're like, you got to keep calling these people. I'm not begging nobody for nothing. That's the worst part of camp. That's the hardest thing, me calling somebody. Look, I'm having a concert at the American Airlines Arena. Everybody and their mama calling up for a ticket. But all of a sudden, I'm running for Congress, and all of a sudden, you MIA. You see how they work? Donate $5. You see me get ready to shoot this movie, all right, everybody want to call. I had a comedian lady tell me she don't do politics. But yet still the people who are your fans, the people who are your fans, who come to your concerts, I'm going to pour into them so they could afford to come in your concert. Because you damn sure ain't got no white people at your concert. That's what I don't understand. The people in the entertainment business, one, the guy stood on the wall for you so you can be able to make the money. You should be sending a boatload of money, because you know what he's going to do to help out other people, because he helped your ass out to be able to make the money you make it. The other part of it is, I'm in a business where this dude here, I want to go perform in Fort Lauderdale. Shit, I need the people to be able to afford a ticket. Hey, and y'all wonder why our communities get gentrified and these people control our communities, but I'm the last of the Mohegan. I'm the only one. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my show. I love you all. I'm not gonna call these people name out, but they know who they are. All my friends know who they are. They know who they are, and y'all get on the thing and tell them. Those names I did call out, those are real good dudes. Them real good dudes. Adrian James ain't hesitate. Oh, what you need? Where we at? Chris Perkins ain't hesitated. What's up? Hey man, send me the link. Rick Ross, send me the link. DJ Khaled, okay, shit, where you need me at, huh? What we doing? Trina, hey, what you need me to do? Okay. Trick Daddy, what you need me to do, huh? We here, CEO. Yeah, hey. That's my show, ladies and gentlemen. In the words of Walter Cronkite, may the good news be yours. Peace.
next great congressman from the state of Florida, and his name will be Luther Campbell.
I'm civil rights attorney Ben Crump, often referred to as Black America's Attorney General. I grew up in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, went to high school at South Plantation High School. My dad still lives in Parkway. We want to make sure we have a strong advocate from our community who understands our culture to go fight for us in the United States Congress. So make sure you go vote for Uncle Luke Campbell for Congress on August 18th.